I was born a complete and utter surprise, but that's not really where my story starts. Let's go back a little, back to 1968 and 1971. My dad, Ty Michael Clardy, was born on June 22nd, 1968 in Denver, Colorado. He didn't live there long though. He then moved to Michigan, where he lived for most of his life. He played football and baseball, and he grew up with some of the greatest people ever, where he then went to Michigan State University. My mom, Candace Lee Cogan, was born on August 2nd, 1971 in Saratoga Springs, New York. She moved from state to state because of my grandfather's job when she finally settled in North Carolina. My dad moved to Raleigh in 1992, and my parents met at a Gold's Gym in Raleigh in 1995, and from there they started dating. In July 1996, my parents found out they were pregnant with me. But here's the kicker. They were told I was going to be a boy. On March 7th, 1997, at 9:36 at night, I was born Danielle Lee Clardy. And would you know it, I was born a girl. Which was a complete and utter shock to everybody. As a baby, I was protected by the best, and I am talking about my sweet Dalmatian Bodie, that was always watching over me while I was sleeping, and was always there to protect me. On September 6, 1997, my parents finally got married, and yes, I was in attendance. No, really, I was 6 months old, I was there. We finally moved into our first home that had the best backyard ever and a ton of space to do whatever we wanted. Fast forward 2 years to March 30th, 1999, when my sister and forever best friend, Haley Elizabeth Clardy, was born, and she was a surprise baby as well. I was raised in a family with the concept that family was the most important thing ever in the world. That they would always be there for you, no matter what. So I always grew up around family and was always surrounded by such loving people. I basically grew up at the beach. Every year, my mom's whole side of the family would go down to Wrightsville Beach to spend 1 to 2 weeks together there. We had a lot of time together, and every summer we were in a different house. In 2001, I finally started preschool at Asbury, and then from there, jumped from school to school to school. When I was 4, I went to my first Carolina Hurricanes game, where I became a forever Carolina Hurricanes fan. In 2005-2006, I was actually at the Carolina Hurricanes game when I saw them win the Stanley Cup. It gives me chills still to this day. When I started 4th grade at Briar Creek Elementary School, I met my best friend, Caitlin Petty, and it's been 14 years of us being together. When I talk about vacations, I went on my very first one in 2010 to the Bahamas, where we stayed at the Atlantis Hotel, and I got to swim with my very favorite animals, dolphins. In 2008, for my dad's 40th birthday, he bought himself a very nice present. He bought himself a boat. And from there, we basically spent every weekend during the summer with friends and family on the lake. Whether it was Jordan Lake, Falls Lake, or we would travel up to Gaston. 2011, I ran my very first half marathon down at Wrightsville Beach, and from there I got obsessed and went on to run a total of 8 half marathons and even a Tough Mudder for my 18th birthday. On October 20th, 2013, my life changed forever. My parents told my sister and I that they were getting a divorce, and I knew from there my life would never be the same. All throughout high school, I ran on the varsity cross-country and track team, where I met some of my closest friends through high school and ran hundreds of races, and still was obsessed with running. 2015, I finally graduated high school and was off to East Carolina University to start in the fall of 2015. From there, we went on a huge trip with my dad for the first time ever since the divorce, with some family friends to New York City for late Christmas and New Year's. We went to our first CCMF, and ever since then have continued to go and add even more people to our group every year, and it just continues to get more and more fun with even better artists every year. I met a lot of great people at East Carolina. I went to a lot of football games and cheered on the Pirates, and even went to some frat parties. But even I got my dog Gracie in Greenville and met some of my best friends there. After my sophomore year, I finally transferred to my dream school, NC State University, to finish out my last bit of college. I worked at the AE Finley YMCA for 6 years, where I also met some of the greatest people ever who continue to be in my life today and continue to make things so much better. Talking about big trips, I went to Hawaii for the first time with my sister and my dad and absolutely fell in love and never wanted to leave. And you never know, I may actually just be moving there. Still to this day, continue to go on our family beach trips with my mom's side of the family. And even today, they're even more important now than they were back then. Because now, as we're getting older, we want to be together more and more. And now, here we are. I'm getting ready to turn 22 years old, with so much to look forward to, and so much to work for. Thank y'all for watching Pictures of My Life, and I will see y'all back here next time.